In this video, I'm going to educate you on bipolar depression. So let's just go ahead and get started. So we got to start off with what bipolar disorder is, right? So bipolar disorder is a mental health condition characterized by extreme mood swings, including emotional highs, mania or hypomania, and lows, which is depression. What is bipolar disorder? Bipolar disorder, formerly known as manic depression, is a chronic mental health condition that causes significant fluctuations in mood, energy levels, and behavior. These mood episodes can last for hours, days, weeks, or even months and can severely disrupt daily functioning. The disorder is typically categorized into three main types: bipolar 1, bipolar 2, and cyclothymic disorder, which I'm not really going to talk about, but I still do have a graph up here so you can kind of get the idea of how it is. Bipolar depression is equal in potential intensity in both bipolar 1 and 2. So, as you see, if we look at our graph, they will reach the same peak on the depression scale. They can be equally as intense. However, in bipolar 2, the depression is much more frequent and longer lasting, which is not represented on this graph, but that's important to know. It's a very key aspect to bipolar 2. Symptoms of depression. So, if we're talking mood and thoughts, persistent sadness or emptiness, feeling hopeless, helpless, or worthless, loss of interest or pleasure in things you normally enjoy, excessive guilt or self-criticism, trouble concentrating, slow thinking, or indecision, thoughts about death, wishing you could disappear. Important to take seriously if they appear. So energy and motivation, low energy or constant fatigue. Everything feels like effort. Motivation drops even for simple tasks, showering, cleaning, eating. Over time, the effects can compound, eventually making energy a luxury. It can get to the point where your body just physically shut down. Like it becomes physical, not emotional. That's what energy is, physical. And body and sleep. Physical aches, heaviness in the body, slowed movements, sleeping too much or trouble falling or staying asleep. Appetite changes to eating more or less than usual. And on behavior life impact, withdrawing from friends or activities, reduced productivity at work or school, avoiding responsibilities, feeling too overwhelmed to make decisions or plans. Emotional experience, feeling emotionally numb or detached, crying more easily than usual. Irritability. Yes, irritability can be a part of depression, especially in bipolar. And here I have a whole section for that. Bipolar depression. Depression in bipolar can feel heavier and more painful than typical major depression. It can also be mixed with anxiety, agitation, racing thoughts, which there is some overlap there. Like generally people that are depressed will experience those more, but what this is saying is bipolar people just have a tendency to have a greater intensity to those. They're more receptive, more sensitive to those emotions, rather than bipolar normal depressions. You're probably going to be more numbed out and experience those to a lesser degree. And this combination is what makes it so uncomfortable in bipolar depression. So what's the difference between the two? Okay, so we got depression down, right? But what is the actual difference between unipolar depression and bipolar depression? So the brain mechanism is different. Bipolar's core mood is instability. Unipolar's core mood is low mood. It's like features. The body is in bipolar is tight, wired, restless, while in unipolar it's mostly heavy, slow, weak. Thoughts louder, racing, self-critical. Unipolar, quiet, foggy, dull. Emotions are in bipolar painful and spiking, and unipolar flat and faded. Mood curve sudden dips, and unipolar gradual sinking. Feel of time stops and rushes. Unipolar is more long and dragging, but this is how they likely differ in feel. This does not mean this is how you're gonna feel. There's totally overlap. This is just on average the direction each pushes you because of this core brain mechanism, right? So that's important. That's the core. That's the real difference right there. And bipolar depression is unpredictable. Entering a depressive mood state can happen for no reason. It's just a part of you. You are always at risk of entering another mood state. Mixed episodes particularly are described as an extremely uncomfortable experience. Antidepressants do not work the same. They're too stimulating without a mood stabilizer, and they can send you into a mood episode. When numb from depression, individuals still experience chaotic, uncontrollable thoughts. There's this fire ignited despite being at your lowest lows. There's still, your wiring is gonna make you have a sense of uncontrollable. It's just gonna intensify everything. Depression, it's no joke, man. It sends you to the bottoms of hell, man. It really, my least favorite part about it is the fatigue, the way it just strips away. It strips away at your life and shrinks you down to nothing, man. You feel like nothing, and there's nothing. It feels like there's nothing you can do about it. And if and particularly in my situation growing up, there was nobody I could talk to about that. They would just say I'm a hypochondriac. And so now hopefully I can spread the word and educate people on what bipolar really is. Because look, if you go to your work right now, 99% of the time, you say, hey, what's bipolar? They're not going to tell you what, they don't know what it is. They're going to say, oh, you just get angry, or oh, you just got mood swings. But they don't really even know what mood swings are, more than likely. And it's just, this is a complicated and needs to be took serious condition. But it has its highs and lows. And I guess I ended up skipping this, but here we go. Bipolar depression makes you understand how bad it can get, which tends to promote empathy among others. Depression causes you to view the world through a different lens. This can create profound insights otherwise unachievable. Depression teaches resilience and discipline. You learn how to keep going against all odds. It also comes with emotional intelligence. You get more in tune with yourself by paying attention to moods. So yeah, I hope you learned something from this video. And if you personally are experiencing bipolar depression or depression, and or are confused about it, I hope I could have gave you some guidance. And because when I was growing up and trying to learn myself, I really wish somebody would have had this video out for me to see. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you for watching.